The new Genesis, we are facing a new enemy threat that was called dolls. At first, they look like vessels molded for Dark Falz energies to manifest as an enemy, so that they can fight against us, ARKs, and as Meteon. So, what are they, and what kind of abilities they usually do? Firstly, they are arriving mostly from the sky, either by spawning instantly or is accompanied by other stellar units or other, emergency trial conditions that they are able to teleport themselves directly into the field alongside with a lot of different platforms. Why is that? It's because I believe all the dolls are capable of utilizing a certain teleportation technology that is similar to all our Ryuker devices and Tranias and yellow triggers and blue triggers, all the purple triggers, and as well as the geometric labyrinth, because we can literally teleport to them from our world map. Interestingly, we don't really know the reasoning behind why they are hostile against us at all, as they are always going to aggro against you as long as they are visible in their line of sight. So even if you are standing on top of a mountain or something, as long as you are visible to them, even if you are on a higher platform, they are going to aggro you and you can hear the battle music going to start as long as they are aggro against you. So yeah, you definitely cannot just approach a doll and just assume they are peaceful units or something. No, they are going to aggro against you no matter what. The carapace on the dolls is probably one of the most interesting and intriguing material that we have yet to understand about. Of course, I believe there's ARK scientists that are constantly working around on new ARKs weaponry so that we can combat against the dolls, especially looking at how much the original Central City was actually destroyed. We'll be even much more cautious about the dolls that was going to appear, especially as the region boss in Juarez region, that is going to be covered by this same carapace material as well. Now, this carapace material covering the whole of a doll's body, except for the joints that are extendable, are just literally their main armor or their main bodies of the dolls. So why am I saying this is that whenever they are enraged, that is the only time that you can see that they are able to extend their joints into a extendable form. Basically, they can just bend the logics and just extend their arm as far as they can to just hit the targets. So, well, the fact that they had to go into this red state is also very, very unique, because not all dolls units has to utilize this red state in order to extend their body. They also can utilize the red state to actually boost their abilities in their combat situations. For example, the Bujins and the Telkundos, once they are in the red states, they are doing different patterns, and dolls can utilize this red state energy like a Trans-Arm system from the Gundam 00 series to be like an ability that would boost their fighting capabilities in such a way that is going to change it slightly. And of course, that also signifies that their health is pretty low for certain dolls unit as well. For example, Bujin is able to live after images and sometimes even do an instant kill attack as long as they are in the red state phase. So yeah, there is an enraged state that is able to boost attacks. This is going to be a very important fact that we are going to state about later on. And of course, the dolls such as Dark Falz Interception, when they are in their red state form, they are definitely utilizing much more aggressive fighting capabilities, especially in their red states. So yeah, it's the same thing that applies to even the largest of all dolls as well. While the dolls units are always just small dolls units, the Dark Falz Interception and mini-bosses are actually different because they are able to utilize different special capabilities and specializations that would harden their body in such a way that they are becoming invulnerable, or they are able to project shields, they are able to cover their whole body in such a way that the only way to penetrate that shield at all is to disable it, which means that they are having a technology to incorporate the invulnerability to themselves as a dolls. But these are only possible if they are the boss units, like for example the Renaissance boss and the Dark Falz Interception. And of course, these bosses, they are able to produce very high amount of variety in terms of attacks. For example, in the Retem region because of how much singing or sound weaponry has been used by Retem City's inhabitants against the dolls. They of course will have retaliation using the same kind of weaponry, like for example the Meteos units. They are using shields that resembles speakers that will fire out sonic attacks as well. The same thing is to apply to the Daityo bosses in Retem. Then they use their guitars to create sonic attacks against the ARKs when they are fighting against the boss. Interestingly, however, the Cuckoo Rosette weapons are also unique in such a way that it's not just a weapon that can be utilized inside the Geometric Labyrinth, but the Cuckoo Rosette weapon itself has the potential that is similar to that of a nature of a dolls. For example, when you are inside the Geometric Labyrinth, which we have stated before that it's actually constructed by the same materials, you can have an extra potency of 5%, which is similar to that of the dolls in their red state, and also an extra boost in weapon damage reduction for 55%, I believe, which is very high considering the fact that there is no other weapons or armor or units that provide such high weapon reduction values so far in New Genesis. So the fact that this only applies inside the Geometric Labyrinth has solidified that the dolls and the Geometric Labyrinth in themselves are made out of the same hardened materials carapace on the dolls. That means that as long as you are inside this structure of some sorts, which is the Geometric Labyrinth themselves or the Trinitas, then the only way that the Cuckoo Rosette weapon will shine, because you are technically inside a doll's unit. It's just a large doll structure, I suppose. And so far, we are launched from planet Halfar from outer space, while Doll's unit on the other hand might have been produced from somewhere under orbit inside planet Halfar. So the fact that they are not burning like our Meteon ports when we are landing from the starting zone, it definitely means that they are actually utilizing a teleportation beacon instead of actually literally flying towards their targets. Because you see, when the star landed, it would somehow be able to teleport in quite a lot of structures that are larger than the size of the projectile that is being sent in. Hence why I believe that the stars that is being sent in by Chaos Trials or Emergency Trials in combat zones or exploration zones are basically just teleportation beacons for the dolls to use. Of course, sometimes these beacons might spawn other enemies like other than dolls, but I believe they are also utilizing the same technology. They are probably teleported from another zone into this zone using that beacon. This is so far by the general explanation of what the dolls are in New Genesis. If there are much more information about the dolls that I don't really understand about or I have missed, maybe leave it on the comment section below. So yeah, this is so far about another lore theory about dolls that I can so far research about in New Genesis. Until next time, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully, if you wanted to support my content and you like my content, please do press the subscribe button and the like button as well. Thank you very much.